All right, all right, all right, all right. We about to get into it. We about to get into it. We about to get to it. Get into it. Get into it. Get into it. Get into it. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Boom, I'm on all. I'm on all. Cool, cool, cool. Bang. What's going on? What's going on? My name is James Bush, and these are my MANversation mornings. Thank you for tuning in. I am a licensed professional counselor as well as a coach in a bunch of states. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today we're going to do, it's Friday. It's Friday. We're going to do our MANversation Mailbag. And what that entails as a therapist, a lot of people ask me questions. A lot of people ask me personal questions about their own business and about their own stuff in some form, shape, or capacity. So I decided I'm going to start answering them. And all stuff is anonymous. It's not therapy, but it's just the thoughts of James Bush. All right? Mind of a man. Now, let's get started. So I had one question from one sister. She says, so I've been dating this guy since last year. Things were going great until I became pregnant. We discussed that we were not ready yet for kids, but unfortunately we had unprotected sex. Okay, or sex. And I was pregnant. Long story short, he became a different person and he wasn't supportive as he was saying very hurtful and negative things towards me. Eventually, I was so stressed out. Uh, and I got a miscarriage. I went through that pain all by myself. After a couple of months, he came back apologizing that he wasn't himself and that I should give him a second chance on my terms. But I don't feel like he's genuinely remorseful as we went out a couple of days ago to talk and he wanted to make up sex, which I refuse. My trauma is that I am still dealing with the loss and I still do love him, but I don't trust him and don't see that he's remorseful. So I don't know what to do. I am confused. I don't want him back because he's not sorry and all he wants is sex, as they say. All right, let's get into it. Let's start at the top. The top of the beginning was it says, so I've been dating this guy for a year since last year. So I'm going to say roughly a year. Things were going great until I became pregnant. We discussed that we were not ready for kids, but yet we were having unprotected sex. So made a couple notes on that one right there. There's this thing called the honeymoon stage, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know it, and it's feelings of euphoria is what many couples called the honeymoon phase, typically making the earliest days of a relationship when laughter, lust, and attraction are the highest. The honeymoon phase can last for weeks, months, or in some cases, years. This phase then tends to decline the more you settle into other stages of your relationship. So this is a reality. People have honeymoon stages. You gloss over things. You overlook things. The sex is, well, the sex, because you're social media now. The sex is great. The opportunities are awesome. Yeah, but it's masking a lot of things, and that's what you have to be prepared for, is what exactly is being masked by this situation. Let's move on. He became a different person after she became pregnant. Well, that's typical. I mean, because now after the honeymoon stage has somewhat been interrupted because of a pregnancy, now you're going to see the real individual. You're going to see how he handles adversity, how he handles challenges, how he handles situations. And make no mistake, this is, I want to say, a non-gender concept, because the same thing can be for this is from a lady to a guy. The same thing can be from a guy to a lady. Genderless concept. When people go through adversity, you tend to see who they truly are and who they truly are not. Now let's go next, a little bit deeper. Okay, she said that she had, unfortunately, because of the strain and the stress and I guess the reality of who the gentleman was, she miscarried. And unfortunately, I'm sorry, that my condolences. But let's be honest. Okay, now we have the stages of grief. We have that anger, denial, depression, bargaining, and acceptance phase, and things along those lines. So you have all these different things that are going on because you have lost a child or whatnot. You know, you have to be mindful of those things. You have a range of emotions. You have a range of questions. You have stimuli. You have things that you may see on a consistent basis moving back and forth. Unfortunately, this is a reality. This is not something that should be taken lightly. And ultimately, you need time. All right, so let's move a little bit first. Then all of a sudden, you see old Joe again. You see the guy. You see the interesting individual. And man, now it's like sometimes those messages, those visual images are playing all back again. Those emotions are starting to rush all over again because the stimuli that was there to help create the child or the child that you were having in that point in time now is here again. Before it wasn't, now it is. So we got to look into that, or like that. You're still healing. All right, and then let's see, what's up? You said that he wanted to have makeup sex. He wanted to get back with you and everything like that. That's typical. I mean, it's typical. It's not something that out of the ordinary like that. And lastly, you said that you still love him, but you don't trust him and don't see he's remorseful. So I don't know what to do. I'm confused, and I don't know. I don't want him back, but he's not sorry, and all he wants is sex. So, last but not least, I mean, let's be honest. It's like, yeah, you do love him, of course. The central nervous system has not gotten him out of your system just yet. There's scientific information about, man, when we have levels of attraction to individuals and how it affects our central nervous system, and sometimes we need to let a process take place in order for that individual to be dispersed and dispelled from us. But it takes time. It is not something that happens overnight. I don't want him back because he's not sorry and all he wants is sex. Well, you already know what your answer is. But I'm going to give you a couple little tidbits on this as well, too, to kind of send you on your way and give you a little bit of a pep talk. Allow yourself to heal. Healing, healing, healing. Healing is a journey. Healing is a process. Allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to grieve this. I mean, again, you lost a child. You had an experience. You had somewhat of a traumatic experience, I guess, with all the yelling and everything along those lines. Also, too, if you want to do your even more research on this, Bessel van der Kolk, The Body Keeps the Score. There's great information on about how pain receptors are not just lighting up from physical pain, but emotional pain as well. So that's one thing. We also said, we already said, take time for yourself. Stay away from negative situations, negative insight, negative stimuli. Sometimes maybe this individual, man, hey, you need to take a break, take a pause for the cause with them, because this can incite or can, reignite some of those painful or traumatic, situations. Forgive yourself. Forgive him. We talked about that yesterday. You got to learn to forgive. You got to forgive people. You got to forgive yourself for allowing yourself to get in this situation. You got to forgive him for how he mishandled you and he treated you along the way and how he was not there for you, I guess, when you needed it at that point in time. Release yourself of those emotions. Guess what? We forgive people for ourselves, not necessarily for them. Set better boundaries. Well, you said you started to have unprotected sex. Unprotected sex is going to do that to you every time, unless you got some other precautionary measures in there. But set better boundaries, set better limits. I'm not going to get in the whole thing where people talk about respecting and loving yourself, man. That's another story for another day. But in the thing, you have to be the best advocate of you, and so set better boundaries. Oh, what else I got? Last but not least, ask yourself, and this is what I do to all of my couples. Ask yourself, what star winning unproductive role did I play in this situation? You start asking yourself like that and you're being honest, you're going to get to some answers very quickly, very fastly. Cool. All right. Lastly, go forth. Be you, do you. All right. Well, that's all I got for the MANversation Mailbag today. My name is James Bush. Like, follow, share, subscribe this. We are MANversation Mornings, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. I want you guys to be blessed. Take care. Oh, by the way, if this, in any case, has offended you any kind of way, send it to somebody that you don't like, and definitely let them see my handsome face. Peace out. Take care.